Hey Australia, it's me, Ange, your self-appointed anti-corruption commissioner, right? I do things like keep an eye on who's donating to our political parties and stuff. And I thought I'll go through a very simple and straightforward example of what I'm concerned about. Woodside Energy. Okay, so Woodside Energy will give $110,000 to both of the major political parties here pretty much every year. Here's 2017 or so. It's a good example because it's just got both of them on one page. I thought I should show you what they were donating around the time this was happening, because this should help me demonstrate the return on investment companies get for their political donations. Alright, now I reckon I found the handful of sentences and paragraphs I'll need to demonstrate my point. First one from the submission from Woodside. The first line from the key points. The petroleum resource rent tax is operating as intended, delivering $200 billion worth of projects over the last decade. And then the review by the government, the conclusion, this paragraph. I think Scott Morrison was the treasurer, right? The fact that the petroleum resource rent tax revenue has been declining and not raising in line with the increase in LNG production does not of itself indicate that the Australian community is not receiving an equitable return from the development of its resource. So the return on investment for Woodside is a tax system that over 27 years seemed to only generate $33 billion from the whole industry. See, this tax isn't to generate tax revenue, it was, as Woodside stated, to deliver $200 billion worth of projects in a decade. Alright, now back to Woodside's submission, because there's a sentence here that will help explain the other issue I have with everything. The dividends that Woodside pay are very important to these shareholders, and changes to the tax rules could result in a negative impact on Australian shareholders. So changes to tax rules impact shareholders. Probably best not have any of the shareholders in positions where they actually influence the tax rules, or at least will have information before anyone else would about these potential changes. They call that insider trading. I believe my request is very reasonable. If you want to be in Parliament, you're not allowed to have shares. If you want to invest in shares, then you're just not allowed to be a sitting member of Parliament. Simple.